Hey everyone, I am Kate Volman and I am here with Andy Crestodina. He is one of the speakers at Content Marketing World this year, and you did an awesome job this morning.
Thank you. I hope so. Thank you.
You did. Andy talked a lot about, you talked about content marketing, and really you went into the analytics side of it, you went to the social side of it. So for your presentation, what things did you really want people to walk away with?
My goal was to make it all super clear and all the little pieces that interact, because there's so many little things that go into content marketing. There's like this research and writing piece, and there's kind of like this networking and relationship piece, and there's like, promotion and measurement and all those things. I tried to connect every dot in this process so that it made sense and you could really see how the actions that you take up front lead to the impact at the end with lead generation.
And I said to him at the end of his presentation, I said it was so thought out, it made so much sense, it was great information, and I feel a little overwhelmed because there's so much to do. When it comes to your content marketing strategy, you really have to fit all those pieces together. So talk a little bit about, because I loved the social component where you talked about figuring out what content to write about, and then also incorporating other people.
Yeah, so a lot of people think social media is just about dumping links on Facebook. That to me isn't really that effective or that interesting. So I like to use social media to find specific people, especially the people who create content. That's the 1% rule. 1% of people create content, so you want to find them first. And social media is like an amazing phone book. You can find anybody you're looking for, and then reach out and include them, invite them into your content. So you're doing things like using contributor quotes. Hey, I'm writing an article on topic X, would you mind contributing a quote? Or just mentioning them, or doing a roundup, maybe even a deep dive interview. Now, you've got other people in your stuff, and magic things happen because that post goes live, they share it for you. So it's a way to improve the quality of your content, it's a way to get better social traction, it's a way to make friends and have fun, which I think is good.
That is good. I like to have fun while we're doing business.
Collaborative content.
And then talk a little bit about SEO, because this was really interesting to me about the SEO side of the analytics, because everyone wants to get more traffic to their site. Everyone's like, oh, I have to be on page one of Google. So talk a little bit about what you shared.
Sure. So there's a way to measure the likelihood of rank on your domain. The likelihood that any page on your website will rank in search engines. And that number, we call it domain authority, and it's measured by a company called Moz. And you can look up your domain authority in a tool called Open Site Explorer. If you know your domain authority, then you know what phrases you can target and what phrases are just a total waste of time. Because let's be honest, you're not going to rank for those super competitive blockbuster $1 million phrases. It's just not going to happen. So know your domain authority first, and then make sure you target phrases only when the other high-ranking pages for that phrase are in that same range of domain authority. Open Site Explorer can help you measure the authority of your own site, and Mozbar, I didn't mention it, but Mozbar is the name of a plugin. It's a Chrome extension, a tool that will help you see the domain authority of the other sites that rank for that phrase. If you're in that range, go for it. If you're not, forget about it, go write something else. Or just write what you want to write, just don't worry about search.
Yeah, you talked a little bit about how there were 3 different things that you could write about.
Oh yeah.
Those are?
Well, the format, the topics that get the most effective results in search are research-based topics and original research, and original strong opinion. Research and strong opinion crush it, they kill the most effective formats for content. The 3 types of research. If you're producing research, you can do research through observation, aggregation, or with an original survey. In either case, whichever you choose, in either case, what you want to do is create a soundbite, something that's on your site, you own it, you are the primary source for that information, and that's what people tend to link to. And those links are what helps your domain authority, and that domain authority is what makes you more competitive, being able to target more phrases next time around.
And share one of the examples, because I think that it was really cool. He shared, the slides were awesome because you actually showed the kind of content you're creating and then the traffic it was getting and the reasons behind why it was getting that kind of traffic. And so on the research side, give that example of the post that you wrote that was so shareable.
Sure. So there were 3. There was one for each: observation, aggregation, and survey. The survey was probably the strongest piece that we've ever done. It was a blogger survey, and it's a fun concept. It's really interesting to produce content this way. You first start by asking yourself this question: what is the one thing in our industry that people often say, but no one's ever proven. Or people frequently assert, but no one ever supports. In content, the question was, how long does it take to write a blog post? No one had ever published, how long does it take to write a blog post? So we asked 1,000 bloggers, we averaged all their answers, and we found the answer was really 2.5 hours. The average blog post takes about 2.5 hours to write. Well, now we own that. Now that's on our site. Now we have that original research. And now whenever people talk about how much time does it take to blog, they end up like citing us. We are the source of that information. So we found the missing stat. We answered the question that hadn't been answered. We did so with just a giant survey. We've done it every year since then. We're doing it again now. It's really hard to get people to take a survey.
Yeah.
But it's worth it because you produce something that is truly original, that gets you way better results than anything else that you could publish.
People love stats. People love infographics. They love bite-sized information. So I loved when you were talking about that and being able to, I mean, even in the content marketing space, everyone talks about be consistent and create good content, but to be able to stand out and have those numbers associated or something, you know, more original, it's definitely going to get that traction. So that was awesome. Okay, one last question, because this was interesting to me. You talked about content marketing and the way that companies are approaching it. And what did you share? Was there a quote, or maybe I'm thinking of Joe's quote, the 20% of companies that are not, that are, yeah, it was the 20% of companies that are focused on their content marketing strategy, which is crazy.
Yeah.
The way that marketing is going today.
It's, even though it's still a fast-growing industry, there are so many companies that haven't laid the groundwork yet and defined their own content strategy. So it's funny, we live in a weird time, right? Because it's kind of taking off as a popular tactic and it's a common strategy, and like more companies realize that we have to be there, be present, be active on the internet. But still, a lot of people haven't set the groundwork and written out, for example, their content marketing mission statement. That's another thing that Joe's always talking about, super important.
Well, Andy, I'm so happy to have met you. You shared awesome content, so I'm glad to now be part of your community and see what you have going on. So where can people find you?
My Twitter handle is my last name, @Crestodina. Sounds spelled like it sounds. Orbitmedia.com/blog is where I write an article about every other week. That's where our newsletter is. Connect with me on LinkedIn. You can find me anywhere. Come to, you know, I'm at this event every year.
Find him anywhere.
And on a bus. You can find me on a bus, which is where we first met last night coming back from the Skyward Party.
Absolutely. This is another reason why you should go to events, because you get to meet really cool people doing awesome work. And now I'll be stalking him on Twitter.
This was a pleasure. We love to collaborate. Great example.
Yeah, perfect.
Well
See
done.
you guys later.
Thank you.